All right. For the last portion of the multiple choice, you are given a positional graph, and your job is to sketch the derivative. And we actually did this a long time ago back in chapter 2 at the beginning. I'm going to start off with what I think is the easiest way, and that is to look at where the slope, what the slopes are, right? So I'm going to start off by showing you that this thing has horizontal slopes. It has slopes of 0 in 3 locations, or at least looks like 3 locations. So I'm just going to keep track of this, okay? At A, I have an f prime of x equal to 0 at what looks like a little bit to the right of 0, so a little bit to the right of 0. I have a slope of 0, and then also at B. And so I should see x-intercepts at each of those 3 locations when I'm looking at my derivative graph. So here I don't have an x-intercept, here I don't, and here I don't, so B's out. Here I don't, here I don't, here I don't, so D's out. A and C right now have some promise, so it's definitely one of these two. Now, which one of those it ends up becoming depends on the outputs of the rest of the slope. So you can see that we have kind of a really shallow slope, but it's positive. So really shallow slope, but it's positive. And then the slope's steeper and steeper and steeper. And so the slopes get steeper and steeper and steeper. But then what happens is you get to this kind of this inflection point, and the slopes kind of go back to shallow, 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 and to the point where we get back to 0. So I want to point out that all of those slopes are positive, and so on the derivative graph, I should have above the x-axis, and that is true. So this is looking like A. And then to solidify, you'd see that we have negative slopes here. These are all negative slopes, and so my outputs are negative. C is backwards, so the answer would be A. And then when I was scrolling down, I noticed that this question is actually part of one of the other pages. I'm hoping that when I made the copies, everything worked out. So that should be the end of the video.